Now we are recording. This is Tony Smith, publisher of Any Incognito magazine, and I have the pleasure of uh, talking to a very dynamic new up and coming artist, and was introduced to me by a friend of mine, Bernard Hill, who's doing some amazing things. So, Any Incognito family, friends, say hello to Miss Minnie Manchester. How you doing, Minnie?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. Absolutely no complaints. Tell us a little bit about who Minnie Manchester is.
Minnie Manchester is, I would say, a flower child.
Okay.
Someone who, you know, just creates creates her own path, creates her own um, visions,
Mm-hmm.
and she kind of just goes with the flow.
Right.
Um, a soul flower.
Okay.
Um,
Sounds like a soul flower with a
yeah,
lot of
just
creative energy. I like that. So, tell us, when did you fall in love with music, or has it been something that's just been ingrained with you from birth?
yep. You hit the nail on the head. It's been something that has just been in me since birth. The funny thing is, my mom actually, like, my government name is Shanice.
Right.
My mom named me after the singer.
Right, right, right.
Um,
Shanice,
she
Shanice.
knew.
Da 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 da. Okay, got you. I remember. Okay, go ahead, babe.
Yeah, so she knew. I guess she knew I would be a singer, and it's just something I started off with. My family, on my dad's side, they have like a family church, and
Okay,
so I was
okay.
always in the church
Started in the
singing,
church. Right, right,
and
right.
anything I did, anything that was always, revolving around music, anything that I ever learned,
Mm-hmm.
um, had had to have something with music in it.
Right. Do you remember the first time you held a mic? Can you even remember back that far? Or
No,
or
I
was
know
it
I,
or was it a
I had
comb
toys.
or a toy?
Yeah, I had toys. I used to always get like little karaoke machines.
Right.
It was this one when I was really, really little. It was
Mm-hmm.
this one little toy I had, but it was like a legit. It was like a cassette player, and it had a mic on it, and I could like record stuff on the cassette tapes and
Uh oh,
stuff.
it was
And I would
over.
like, yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it
like play it. It was like a
was.
Barbie. It was like Barbie or something like that, and I would like record stuff on there.
Oh man, that is too cool. That is too cool. So as far as growing up, has it always been in the South in Atlanta?
Yes, born and raised
Born
in
and
Atlanta,
raised.
Georgia.
And how has the like with the cats there, Jermaine Dupri, and you got the rapper industry. Those cats are strong there in the ATL. How has that kind of inspired you as you move forward with building your career? Just that Atlanta flavor and vibe.
I mean, Atlanta is unique in its own way. Just watching a lot of the artists that I was influenced by, especially like Outkast, and all of them kind of grew up the same way I did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of There's a lot of poor places in the city,
Right.
and
Right.
but a lot of talented people there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just watching them really, really inspire me, and I'm seeing them, and I'm like, oh my God, they're just like me,
Right. Exactly.
same background, all of that, but they made something out of
That's
it.
right.
So
That's right. That's just evidence that it can be done because if they could do it, you could do it. Amen to you. Amen. So tell us about. I did a little bit of reading up on you, of course. Um, when you decided to take off and go over to Japan and get with what was the name of the group? Groove and Fam.
Groove and Fam,
Yeah, what was the thing that took you over there? Was it a relationship? You just got married?
Yeah, I got married super young,
Hmm.
19 years old,
Hmm.
and his job relocated us pretty much, and
Okay.
so I had to make the decision, and I decided to go to Japan with him. So we went there, and somehow the way like life works, when
Hmm.
it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Music has always found its place in my life, no matter how many times I tried to go the conventional route, I would say.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but I was introduced into the group through one of my husband's friends,
Okay.
and he's like, "Hey, I know your wife sings and stuff like this. Like, I know this group or whatever." And he was like, "They're actually holding auditions
Hmm.
for their live band, Reuben Fam." And he was like, "She should go." And so, I mean, the rest is history. I went,
How
and
was it?
we toured all over that place.
Did you? I was getting ready to. You beat me to the punch. So, how was your experience doing kicking it with Groove and Fam? How long were you with them?
I would say like 2 years, 2, 3 years.
Okay, that's a
Um,
decent stretch.
it was it was a good experience because I was the youngest. Everybody else are I always had an older soul, so I always
Hmm.
gravitate toward older people because I like learning from them. And so I was kind of like the baby,
Hmm.
just soaking it all in. And they've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
Um, Great musicians,
Hmm.
and so I just, I was there just being a sponge,
Got you.
learning about the industry,
Got
learning
you.
about performing,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
other side of music versus just the recording aspect of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The stuff that lends to longevity in the business. What what could you say, like real quick, would have been the biggest distinction between the music fan base, like when you were in the ATL over here in the States versus there in Japan?
Um, I would say in Japan, it's a heavy demand for soul music in
Wow.
particular.
Okay.
They appreciate it a lot more versus in like Atlanta and stuff. You
Mm.
get more of they like
Right.
the younger sound, the hip hop, the rap and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. In
Mm-hmm.
Japan, it's just different. They love soul
Did
music.
that surprise you?
It did.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few folks who've traveled over there. They seem outside of the United States, I guess the fan base kind of more appreciates like the soul and the classic and the artistry of it. Especially, there was so much more meaning with a lot of that music in the lyrics and how stuff was composed. That is awesome, awesome. So I see that you got your degree in business. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, all right. Where'd you get your degree from?
Um, I got my degree from Maryland University College, but I actually went to two schools.
Where'd you go?
So my first school was University of West Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually studying nursing,
Wow.
but
Okay.
then I had to move, and then that kind of got put on hold, and I was kind of determined to do something, and I was like, something just I don't know spoke to me and was like, if I need to finish school,
Mm-hmm.
but why not do it in something that's going to benefit me,
Mm.
especially if I plan on doing music and
Mm-hmm.
taking it, seriously. I need to learn, the business aspect of it all, know the professional way to do things too. So
That's right.
it really helped me.
That's right. That's right. I was going to ask you how important was getting your degree, your business degree. How important has that been to your career as you're crafting your career? And you pretty much answered it there. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's this the kind of stuff that's inspiration to the folks coming up after you. Even though you're not an OG yet, it's still some youngins out there looking up saying, "I want to be like many." So that's a good way to start setting a good example. So let me ask you, who was and still is your biggest music inspiration as you were growing up, and even now?
might be hard to believe, but I'm gonna say Michael Jackson.
Okay, it is hard to
Michael.
believe now, cause not now, and I'm saying that because I want you to tell me more. Okay, explain. Yes, the king of pop.
Growing up, the king of pop. He makes pop music, but I fell in love. That's where I kind of like first learned. I used to practice and experiment with different stuff when I was younger, and
Mm,
he's one of like his stuff, his music and his materials is what I use to kind of learn how a song is supposed to be
mm-hmm.
written, how a
Mm-hmm.
song is supposed to be structured.
Mm.
You know, stuff that sticks in your head, and
Right.
stuff like that. And so I always use like him as kind of like my inspiration for that.
Okay.
Maybe not the exact sound, but just like learning, how to create music and
Right.
how good music is supposed to feel and sound.
Putting all those perfect pieces together. I like that. I like that. So that would just lend to, I guess, a part of your creative process, which was going to be my next question,
Yep.
but you answered it. So you done beat me to the punch twice. That's okay. Uh, I tell you, I've worked behind the scenes, on some big tours, and the one thing that I've found is rehearsals. Rehearsals have normally been the setting for some of the funniest, most hilarious happenings I've ever seen with these musicians because the fans not looking at them and their hair down. So, I got to ask you, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened in one of your rehearsals over the years, either Japan or over here in the States?
Um, let me see.
And you can do it without putting somebody on
Well,
blast, but if you want to put them on blast, I don't have no problem with that.
well, I would say the funniest thing for me, it's
Mm-hmm.
not really funny, but it's funny. But there was a time in rehearsal when my voice went out, and I was like,
Okay, I need to know a little bit more about
what
that.
just
Just a
happened?
little bit more. And okay, at what part was it? The beginning, the middle, or the end of the rehearsal? Or the beginning of a song? Come on, you got to give me a little bit more, Minnie. Come on now.
It was like the middle. I was singing and I was feeling myself,
Oh, see,
and
that's
then
what
all
happened.
of a
Uh
sudden
huh.
my voice, yeah, I was feeling myself.
What was the song? Do you
I
remember the
don't
song?
remember. I don't.
Okay, but you was feeling
I
yourself.
don't.
All right,
I
that's a
just
good one.
remember that happened.
That's a good one. I just put 5 stars beside that one because that's a good one. Oh God. So now let me ask you this, Minnie. How you managing family wise, personally, going through this stuff with the pandemic and the in these COVID times? How you making it through each day?
Oh man, it's been tough, but I think what keeps me going is just trying to stay positive, thinking
Mm-hmm.
of the good, all of the good, and try to minimize thinking about that bad. It's
Yeah.
this quote that I really love that I kind of live my life by.
Okay.
It's like, if you can do something about it, then why worry? And then it's like,
Mm.
if you can't do something about it, then why worry? So
Mm. I like that.
I
That's
kind of like,
I,
yeah, that's like my daily affirmation, if you will.
that's a good one. That's a good one. It comes with a lot of profound simplicity. It's profound, but it's a simple recipe. I love that. Love that. So, what's the biggest thing? Just the one thing, if you can tell us, that you discovered about yourself that you hadn't even realized you were capable of because we had to go through this change.
Mm. I realized um, the biggest thing about me that I realized about myself is that it's okay to ask for help.
Mm. Amen.
I'm like especially being an indie artist, I do a lot on my own,
Right.
and
Right.
right now we're facing times where we need people, we need each other, and
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
I've learned collaborating and just building relationships with people and
Mm-hmm.
asking
Mm-hmm.
for help,
That's right.
lending a hand, and all of that.
and
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with the right people.
Mm,
And taking the time to let that trust just grow as it's supposed to, and not just rush. You know what I mean? I know a lot of the artists I've talked to, even because I did an interview with Hill last week, and that's one of the things that she was saying. Um, Her creative juices just went to another level during this shutdown, and you know the connections that she's made over the years, the real ones are starting to come to surface now. So that's a good thing that you on that point. Awesome. So what's next for you, Mini Manchester?
I got some projects I'm working on, project that's coming out,
Okay. Okay.
some hot collaborations
All
in the
right.
works.
All
Just
right.
a lot of stuff I'm excited about.
Okay, and people can find you. Just let everybody know where they can find you. You know, your Instagram, your tags, and all that stuff.
Okay. You can find me on all social media platforms:
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My handle is all the same. It's Minnie Manchester,
Okay.
MINNIManchester.
Okay.
Um, and I also have a website,
Hmm.
MinnieManchester.com,
Okay.
where you can find everything. Yeah,
Perfect.
new music coming and everything.
That sounds wonderful. The Bernard gave me a little bit of a hint on that, so you already know I'm waiting to hear it. Um, and lastly, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to Bernard. He's awesome.
Okay.
He's amazing and a great friend. And shout out to, I want to say, my family. Shout out to God.
Well, I already knew that one was first. Amen, sister. Like they say in the South, amen, sure.
And shout out to Venus Beats. He's a great producer. I worked with him on the entire project. He's
Oh,
just
okay.
phenomenal and super
Venus
talented.
Beats.
Self-taught. Venus Beats.
He's Atlanta based too?
He's based actually in France.
Okay, okay. Venice Beats. All right, all right. Cool. Well, this has been amazing. This has been amazing. We are going to be very proud to put a great piece together visually. Got a lot of good material for our rising star profile in the September issue of Indie Incognito. Personally, I want to thank you very much for giving me some time, having some fun, and giving us some insight on who Minnie Manchester is. And we shall be talking very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. It was an honor.
Oh, you're very welcome. And like I said, we will definitely be in touch. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye.